This is Sambhaji Jadhav from Deccan College, Pune. Topic of my today's presentation here is tense and aspect systems in Marathi, a cross-dialectal study. So the aim of this study is to document the synchronic variation in the tense aspect systems of regional dialects of Marathi. Tense is grammaticalized expression of location in time. It is a deictic category that is locate situations in time, usually with reference to present moment, though also with reference to other situations. Aspects are different ways of viewing the internal temporal constituency of a situation, where perfectivity is viewing a situation externally, from outside, with no reference to its internal temporal structure, while imperfectivity allows the viewing of the situation from within, making explicit reference to the internal temporal structure. Comrie 1976. So the basic pattern given for new Indo-Aryan languages, finite verb by Masika 1991, is as follows. Verb stem followed by aspect marker, then optionally concord, tense aspect marker, tense mood marker, and then optionally concord. This is my study area. So this is map of Maharashtra, where you can see these are the regions. Where this is from Konkan region. I have selected Rajapur data, which is southern part of Konkan region. Here I have taken data from Chandigarh, which is a part of Kolhapur. So this is interesting area because this is transition between Indo-Aryan Marathi, Indo-Aryan language, then you have Kannada built here, Kannada Dravidian language, and Goan Konkani is also close by. So here Latur, I have taken data from Shirur, and this is also close by area is Marathi and Kannada transition built is there. Here I have taken data from Erala in Nagpur, which is close to Hindi belt at northern side, and this area I have taken data from Ambe village. Where it is closer to Hindi belt, Gujarati language, as well as local Bhili languages. So these also gives some different variations within dialectal system. And these, even though my PhD topic covers all these parts, actually I have taken selected areas for this particular presentation. So to elicit and examine synchronic variation in the aspectual system in regional dialects of Marathi, the particular study uses multi-pronged approach. Elicited verb paradigms are used in addition to speaker responses to a questionnaire and video tools, which were developed collaboratively by the project team. And we have also collected narratives and stories from the native speakers. Some of the abbreviation at right side I have given, especially which I have used related to aspect, tense, and agreement marking. Now let's see this data analysis section, where I will first talk on tense and aspect in standard Marathi, where you can see this system, and it is said to be like Marathi is aspectual based language, where aspect is more important than tense. So you can see here la plus agreement for perfective, ta plus present tense auxiliary for present progressive, ta plus past tense auxiliary comes for past progressive, and only with the progressive marker with the present tense only gives this complete construction, gives you the progression in that particular tense. So habitual, you can see the directly has attachment of agreement, which makes this progressive versus habitual difference. And in past habitual, this language also make present versus past habitual, where is is the form for past habitual, and then PNG markers are added. For prospective, nar, present tense, these are the auxiliaries which are used, rahe and hota for present and past tense, and for future tense, learner marking is there, and before it, the PNG markers are added. So if you look at the first dialectal data, Rajapur variety, which is the southern part of Konkan region of Maharashtra. So here you get, for example, you get L as a perfective marker followed by PNG marking. But interesting fact is here, where you look at progressive and habitual markings. So progressive and habitual is not separated, and that is why this I call it as an imperfective system versus perfective system, not the three-way. So here, to amba khata is the gives meaning of eating as well as it's this both the situations are like embedded in the same kind of constructions. So in past habitual versus past progressive, so similar thing happens. Khait, hota or hota. In this construction, actually this is a past auxiliary, but this gives you the meaning of past progression as well as habitual as there. So we can just see here the system, how Rajapur system is there. So la plus PNG marking is there for imperfective, present imperfective the plus PNG, past imperfective the plus hutta. This is the past tense auxiliary, and prospective nar form is there. These are the auxiliaries which are used with present and past, and future marking. Interestingly, here you get the marking which you don't get in standard Marathi, for example. And additionally, if you go a little bit towards Sawantwadi, which is near to Goan region, so you get additionally Tal marker, and this marker also you will see in the next variety as well. So we'll move to Chandigarh data, which is just next to that part, adjacent to Konkan region as well, even though it is part of Desh region. So here we will see the system directly. La plus agreement marking is there for perfective. For progressive, you get ul versus past progressive, you get ulal marking. So there is a differentiation is created where additionally you get PNG marking with it. And you have other system which is like standard Marathi as well, which is in variation we find this as well. Here, if you look for present habitual, you get the PNG ya versus past habitual it hota. This hota is a past auxiliary there, but there is a differentiation is created within the habitual marking, and this complete gives you a sense of present habitual versus past habitual here. Now again, if you look at the future marker, you get tal marker, which is perhaps because of the adjacent areas are Goan, Kokni and Kokni in Konkan region of Maharashtra. So if you look at the third area, which is also considered as Desh region part, so we just will compare this earlier which we saw and now this, and you will see the system something like this, where this complete ular marker which was there used for past progressive, here actually you get different system. This is used for present progressive. Additionally, the marking is there which shows you the past inside it. So ulal and this will be your PNG R or E depending on your gender and other features there, number, person, etc. And habitual the plus PNG here actually you get like standard pattern IX plus PNG marking, and then you get this like other varieties as tense markings. So if you move forward towards like Nagpur region, you get some different new patterns as well. Let's see here in this summarized table. La plus PNG marking is to show perfectivity, but now you will see this new variation coming in picture, Undraila. So this gives you the present progression which is happening in that particular this will be before it will be root of the verbs, and then this complete marking will be attached to it. And optionally you have this like standard Marathi as well. In some of the speaker you get these as well, but this is like whenever you will say to kam karun rahela, you will definitely understand that this is from Nagpur region and nearby areas to it. So if you look for past progressive, you get like the hota marking. Additionally, like undraila hota is also there where past tense auxiliary is added, but this we get very few tokens we get. Normally we get system like something like this. Then habitual the PNG, and past habitual you get is plus PNG. Additionally, you have variation like A, where this means me काम करायचो versus me काम करे. These kind of constructions are there, which are found there. So additionally, you have these other markers where actually if you have seen already this, then here in this construction you get optional tense as well. So if you last move to Ambe village in Dhule district, you will find that this actually, because of the lot of transition kind of and languages are there. So you have Gujarati here, Hindi here, Bili local Khandeshi and Bili languages. So that is why you get a lot of variation here. And the system, if you look at, you will find something like this. Perfective in other variety, just you saw that low marking was there. Here you get A or E plus PNG marking. Here additionally you get E Raina marking, which you don't find otherwise in Desh variety or Kokan variety. So you get E Raina. This is kind of new construction we find in this particular variety. So for present habitual us versus past habitual is, and A optionally there is a variation within this. You find sometimes this A marking is coming, as we saw in other variety as well, in one of the variety like Nagpuri. And then past you get no marking. Here is also difference, and then you get this E or in as a future marking. So summary of the findings. If you look at this complete chart from these different five areas which I had selected, and last I have added the standard Marathi, which we first looked at. So we find most of the variations in progressive system. If you look at this, so Undrail constructions, Raina or E Raina. So these new constructions are coming into picture. Additionally, these Ul or Ulal constructions are also coming, and this will be analyzed also further in my study. So, but right now, this, if you look at the variations, rich variations within the dialects which we get, it's very interesting in nature. Additionally, whenever the areas are adjacent, we just looked at like Tal marking, which is a feature which we find in Kolhapur as well as in Rajapur, southern Rajapur especially area, or southern Konkan region, we can say in Maharashtra, we get this marking. And then differentiation is also created within, let's say, present habitual versus past habitual in this all these varieties if you look at. And one other important aspect, if you look here, let's take this Rajapur. So present progressive the PNG, you will see past habitual the PNG. So this system becomes two-way, as in past progressive also the Hutta versus it or the Hutta. This system gives you almost similar patterns. So as far as this perfectivity is concerned, you get this Dhule variety or Khandeshi variety, you can say, as different from other varieties. So these are some of the findings from my study, and most of the variations we are getting here, we can make like this language or even all the dialects making difference between habitual, past, and present. And also here you get Rajapur as a two-way variety versus perfective versus imperfective, and other varieties remain aside as three-way, perfective versus progressive versus habitual in this three-way distinction. So these are my references. And STML is a collaborative project of Deccan College and RMVS Mumbai. I thank both the institutes for giving me a opportunity to work in this as a PhD candidate. And I also thank my PhD guide and STML project head, Professor Sonal Kulkarni Joshi, for her valuable comments and suggestions. Thank you all. Please, your comments and suggestions are welcome.
One question, primarily when I think you presented the data of standard Marathi, where you So the marker the and which you said that it's both progressive and habitual, right?
Let me
So
go. Yeah.
is there a difference between the interpretation? So let's say that if there is a sentence in progressive aspect and the same sentence which gets the marker of progressive and habitual both. So is there a difference between the interpretation as well?
Yeah, but let's see here. As far as system is concerned, if you add, this is like term marking is everywhere. You can see, but the difference you get within this, once you have present tense, you get present auxiliary and past tense past auxiliary. Also, there is this R comes for PNG marking. But if you, as you are asking for this, if you add this particular auxiliary here, then it automatically gets the sense of progression, not the habitual. To that particular you once you add directly the PNG marking, then only you get habitual sense in present tense.
All right. I think one of the examples that you have shown that the both progressive and habitual is coming in the same construction, the same sort of.
This is other variety, Rajapur variety. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fine. The second question is that in most of the varieties, for I think present progressive and past progressive, an alternative marker is this ta plus ahe and ta plus hota.
Yes.
So is that the standard variety?
Right. You are correct, because some of the people, because standard variety will be there all over these dialects, because people will be switching to standard variety many times, and
Right.
yeah, that is why we are getting that particular.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Anything else? Any suggestions?
Thank you, Udaji. It is very nice presentation. I also observed the same pattern in the Saurashtra language also. The people spoken in Tamil Nadu, the same format as you pointed out, that progressive thing, the same format. I want to know about the agreement, whether they have subject verb agreement or object verb agreement. Have you found anything?
Agreement is there. If you look, let's say for example, maybe one variety we can take somewhere. If we look at the standard, so mi amba, let's say mi amba khalla hota versus mi kheer khalli hoti, where there is a perfective marking, then you get agreement with your object. When let's say this is in progressive, mi amba khat ahe, ami amba khat ahot, here you get agreement with your subject. So there are agreement with depending on, but let's see, if subject has overt case marking, then agreement will shift to object. If object also has this overt case marker, then agreement will shift to neutral. So this also happens. And as far as varieties are concerned, varieties also you get different patterns. Let's say this is Rajapur variety, where actually you can see here this is just a third person singular. So it is not, it's like masculine, feminine, neuter. This distinction is not created, which is in standard Marathi. So in all these, whatever aspect we will be looking at, let's say perfective or imperfective, this masculine, feminine, neuter, similar marking will be there. So those are like redundant there.
One more question, sir. In pronoun, a first person pronoun, do you find any difference between masculine singular? I'm asking about singular. Do you find any masculine or gender distinction is there in the
Form itself?
Pronoun first person singular.
Pronoun itself, we don't have gender distinction. Like let's say boy will say me amba khata hai, girl will say me amba khata hai. So pronominal level there is no distinction.
So it's not in verb ending. Maybe
it shows in verb ending. Let's say Ramesh amba khato, where o marker is there. and Gita Amba Khate versus A marking is there. So, or if it is a neuter, then let's say maybe any neuter noun which you take Ba Amba Khate, where you get the A marking. So that is differentiated at agreement pattern.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Because I'm working on Saurashti, I feel that the same feature is available in Marathi also. They have given under Gujarati languages in Census of India. Saurashti is considered as a Gujarati. They given, but I feel that it's most of the feature is it looks like Marathi.
Okay.
Even the words also, some of the words are also cognitive one. I think so.
Yeah, maybe even historical reasons could be there because this complete part up to Saurashtra was earlier as a Marathi belt. We may say maybe I'm not sure, but yeah.
Thank you, sir. Time running out of time, so we can discuss later also.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Shambhuji.